How's it going, everybody? This is Dakota from the Techie's World, and this week we're going to introduce an entirely new series of videos on this channel called Techie Talks. In this new series, as you see, I've got an entirely new, it's not really new, I just changed my setup around a little bit. In this new series, I'm going to be kind of getting a little intimate with you and talking about some things. This is really like my version of a vlog, if you will. So it's going to be me sitting in front of the camera talking about certain things. Anything that has to do with the IT industry, this will ultimately be the series for that. I wanted to address a couple different things before we actually get started. Number one, it's about the camera. The camera I use to record all of my videos with is a Sony Handycam HDR CX405. And I have gotten a couple of complaints about the audio quality of the camera. Now, as you see, I'm not using my blue Snowball microphone. My Snowball is actually off camera shot. It's right over here, just out of camera view. Even if I use that, the audio sounds kind of tin can-ish unless I use that portable studio. And having a big box in front of my face wouldn't necessarily look good. So we have to deal with the camera audio. And really, the audio on the camera isn't bad. I've just gotten a couple complaints about a chirping in the background. And the chirping is the camera's autofocus. I should probably get like a little clip-on mic and probably clip it to my shirt. Now, onto it. So, to start off the new series, I thought we would do something a little bit more universal, and that is computer repair. And I've been meaning to do a video on this, but I figured now is a good time to do a video on it to kind of launch the new series. So, we're going to talk about computer repair as a job and kind of where it stands for the future for people who may want to get into IT. Okay, so the first thing I think we need to understand is that having a computer technician job, it is really the bottom end of the IT industry. If you really want to get into IT and you want to pursue it as a career, more than likely computer technician will be the base entry job. Technician job is pretty much at the bottom of the list. You don't make as much money, but hey, it's a pretty fun job if you like working with computer hardware. Being a computer technician will ultimately be a thing of the past. Here's the reason why I think that is. First of all, PC sales are declining. They have been declining for quite a few years. And we all know that. They're all starting to decline off in favor of, tablets like iPad, and people are now using their phones as their computer. So that ultimately reduces the need for computers. Plus, mobile devices like tablets and phones are actually a lot more portable than laptops. The only people who really buy computers anymore are professionals and weird people. And I don't mean weird people in a bad way, I mean it in a good way. People like me. I have to have a computer because I've tried video editing on my iPad before and it ain't happening. Your finger is not a good pointing device for video editing. You need a trackpad or a mouse. I need to have a computer to edit and upload these videos with, hence the reason why I have the MacBook Pro, because it does what I need it to do. And I'll also classify gamers in here as well. Mobile gaming, don't necessarily think that's the kind of gaming people are looking for. So PC gamers, video editors, musicians, photographers, those kinds of people, we're going to always need to have computers. But the average person will not buy a computer. I mean, nobody goes to Best Buy, or actually nobody goes to Best Buy, period. But we all buy our computers at Walmart, right? So nobody goes into Walmart and goes and buys a computer. We buy iPads and Android tablets and Windows tablets and the hybrids. Hybrids are like the Surface and the Yoga Book. So the days of buying a laptop or a desktop are pretty much over in the consumer space. Not a lot of consumers buy computers anymore. Another thing that is ultimately affecting computer repair is the fact that computers are becoming unrepairable. They are becoming more glued down where you can't repair them. Basically, it's turning into one of those things where you buy a computer, it's basically disposable. It's like a razor. You buy a disposable razor, you use it, a few times and then you throw it away. That's pretty much what electronics are turning into. We can't, it's getting harder and harder for us to take apart a computer and repair a simple problem. If something goes wrong with it, you might as well just throw the whole thing away and just buy a new one. Computers as a whole are turning into more of a disposable item. I don't think the job market is going to be there for bench technicians, so I feel that if you don't already hold that title, it is going to be difficult to near impossible to get that in the future. I was very fortunate enough to get hired by a local computer store back in my hometown. I grew up in a small city in upstate New York. I was just very fortunate enough to get hired by a local computer store there. I was fortunate enough to hold that title. And so basically what my job was, I was one of the guys responsible for fixing your computer. That's basically what I did, and I loved it. I'm a hardware guy. I love computer hardware. I'm not a software guy. I don't understand programming. It makes my brain hurt. The most programming I know is just a very small, tiny bit of HTML, and all I could ever do in HTML was just give you a white web page with black text on it. That's all I can do. I mean, I never really fully went into the full HTML concept, so that's all I really know about HTML. And as a matter of fact, it's been like 3 or 4 years since I've done anything in HTML. I'd have to relearn how to do it. I love working with computer hardware. To me, it's more exciting than software. Programming, I don't understand it. It makes my brain hurt. I've tried several other programming languages, and I just can't do it. I don't care about the software. I just use it. I mean, I don't care how it's made. I just use it. I praise the people who make it, but I don't care how it's made. I don't. I just use it. As long as it works, I'm fine and dandy. I guess it's always good to kind of know how software is made. I guess it is kind of good to know that. But in terms of having a computer technician job, I don't hold that title anymore. I actually moved away from my hometown about 2.5 years ago. So I ultimately had to leave that job because I moved away. I live only like 1 county up from where I grew up, so I mean, you know, but I'm not commuting 2 hours to work every day. No, thank you. I moved from a small city to kind of a big city. So ultimately, I think computer repair as a job is going to ultimately turn into more of a mobile devices technician. As a matter of fact, when I worked at the computer store in my hometown, we also did phone repairs. And we got quite a few phones in. And I would assume now that those numbers are actually higher from actually when I worked there. Yes, phones and tablets are harder to repair, but they can be repaired. So I think that's ultimately where it's going to go. So if you're kind of like a teenager and you're thinking about possibly getting into the IT industry, I would be prepared for a future of learning how to repair mobile devices rather than repairing computers. So that's kind of what I would be gearing up for. Now, yes, it is true. You need to know computer hardware. You need to know what a motherboard is. You need to know what a hard drive is, what your RAM is actually what an SSD is now. All these basic computer terms, RAM, SSD, motherboard, GPU. But in terms of actually working with it, I don't necessarily think that you'll be doing that in the future. The only way I can see somebody working with computer hardware in the future is if you are a network technician. If you are a network technician working with servers, servers are basically computers. So I think unless you want to get into networking, I don't think you'll be working with computer hardware. You'll be working more with mobile hardware. And mobile hardware technically is computer hardware, but you won't be working with a physical computer like this. You'll be working with something more along the lines of this. So I think that's ultimately where it's going to go. But again, the entry-level job in IT right now is basically computer technician or help desk. I think being a computer technician, that job will go away in favor of a mobile devices technician. So if you're only skilled in knowing how to repair a computer, I don't necessarily think that is a good outlook for the future. You need to know how to repair phones and tablets and all these other mobile devices. You're going to have to know how to do this. Now, believe me, I don't like repairing phones and tablets. I don't. Mobile devices have very small screws, and I have sausage fingers. Screws are such small magnitude, and having fingers of this size, it just doesn't work. For somebody like me who favors hardware, it is a fun job to do. I just don't think looking forward, it is a job that people will be holding. I actually do worry about those who actually hold that job now. What's going to happen to them in the future? Are they going to be out of a job? Or are they going to have to, if they don't know how to already, are they going to have to go and learn how to repair mobile devices to keep their job? So, I mean, I just don't like the outlook that the technician job has. I really don't. And who knows how long it will be before companies start making phones and tablets completely unrepairable. I've said in the past, computers are a dying breed of technology in the consumer space. Consumers just don't buy computers anymore. And, you know, how long will it be before the average American home will not own a computer? And at what point will the technician job turn into being more of a phone tablet technician or not being there at all? In terms of having a repair technician job, the outlook just doesn't look that great, and I don't feel good about it. So it's a sad thing because you know, it is a fun job. You know, if you like computer hardware and you like repairing things, it's fun. But I just don't think it has a very good outlook for the future for possible career options, at least in my opinion. Alright, so that'll do it for this episode of Techie Talks. I hope this wasn't too boring or anything. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from the Techies world, hit that little subscribe button down below. And one thing about subscriptions, I don't know if YouTube changed the algorithm or if there's an ongoing snafu. You are likely not receiving notifications from me when I upload a video. And this has been resulting into a whole plethora of problems for YouTubers. So make sure that when you hit the subscribe button, make sure that you hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button, and make sure you check the box, receive all notifications for this channel. Then that way you'll get notified every single time I upload a new video. For some reason, just clicking the subscribe button, you won't get notified. And it has been causing a whole bunch of problems. And also make sure you check out the website. Blog posts will be posted to all new videos up on the website. And ultimately, make sure you check out those social media accounts, the Twitter, the Facebook, the Instagram. It's all up there. Follow those if you'd like. All the links will be posted in the video description down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you.
You're missing it. Reaction to a fiction, cause the beat is so explicit in my dreams and I'll elicit it. Not enough to see it, scratch it, read it, claw, beat it, be the first to be an any animal that needs it.